Where anime really starts to look like anime in my opinion, is around the time of the release of Speed Racer in 1967. This show had a much bigger focus on realistic body proportions, while also maintaining the really expressive eyes. This allowed for more realistic movement without losing the subtlety of a character's face. These are by no means the only anime at the time, by the way. I'm just picking out shows that showcase art styles at the time. Like Dororo in 1969. It was a much more adult-oriented anime, and as such employed many more cinematic techniques, especially in the way characters were lit, with harsh shadows being cast over character designs. Later, in 1971, Ashita no Joe would take this style and improve it even more, by increasing the detail in character designs by a staggering amount. This is a trend that I originally didn't like in anime, as I think these designs can look a little grotesque, but I think most anime hits the balance of detail super well, and I have also mellowed on this look over the years. Outside of the darker side of anime, however, and skipping over to 1974, Heidi, Girl of the Alps, was telling a much more light-hearted story. This would require animators to pivot the way they were expressing emotion. Due to Heidi, and other shows like it, not being concerned with action scenes, emotion started to be expressed primarily through the face and subtle body language. Going into the 80s, you can actually see quite the pivot from the very realistic approach of 70s anime. In 1981, Yuruza Yatsuro was out here having very exaggerated facial expressions, as well as hair becoming a much more prominent feature of anime character designs. I find this really entertaining to see, as well as lending itself to the expressiveness of the art form really well. What would also help with this is the variety that was afforded by shows like Macross, which came out just a year later in 1982. Throughout the 60s and 70s, you can see that everything has a very refined and rounded look to it. Macross especially pioneered this more scratchy and sharp style that looked far more adult, and worked brilliantly for a more grown first generation of anime fans. The more rounded art style wouldn't be going anywhere, however, because in 1986, Studio Ghibli would make it their trademark style when they released their first film, Castle in the Sky. This movie saw major leaps in the technical aspects of anime, looking more fluid than ever before, with crowd work and character movement being an absolute highlight. Studio Ghibli and its co-founder, Hayao Miyazaki, would go on to take the coveted spot of what was essentially the Disney of Japan, which was the exact moniker that Miyazaki's ex-employer, Toei Animation, claimed they were going to be 27 years prior.